Dragon Masters, Book 21, Bloom of the Flower Dragon, written by Tracey West. Chapter 1, The Dragon Visitor. Worm, we have a visitor, Drake said. Worm, a big brown earth dragon, opened his eyes. He had been napping in next to Drake. Drake showed Worm the tiny dragon perched on his hand. White flower petals sprouted on the head, wings, and tail of the little green dragon. Have you ever seen a dragon this size? Drake asked. The green chunk of dragonstone around his neck glowed like it always did when he communicated with his dragon. He heard Worm reply inside his head. It looked like a type of flower dragon. Just then, a shadow crossed over them. Drake looked up to see 3 dragons flying above the valley of clouds. First came Bo, riding on the winds with his blue water dragon shoe. Next came Anna, flying gracefully with Capri, her white sun dragon. Finally, Orion, her red fire dragon Vulcan, zoomed down from the sky. The 3 dragons landed in the grass. Their dragon masters climbed down and ran toward Drake and Worm. Drake, you're back, Bo cried. Did you stop Astrid? Asked Anna, where he spotted the flower dragon. Did you bring that dragon back with you? Drake took a deep breath. There's a lot to tell you, he said. The last 2 days have been very busy. Drake, several dragon masters, and dozens of wizards had tried to stop a wizard named Ostrich from casting a terrible spell. She wanted to bring the bones of ancient beasts to life and take over the world. Ostrich cast the spell, Drake began. She brought the bones to life at the fortress of the stone dragon. Then she took her army to King Albin's kingdom. Anna gasped. How did you stop her? Drake explained how Dragon Masters Mina and her ice dragon Frost and Casper and his stone dragon Shaka had helped Drake and Worm defeat Ostrich. In the end, Shaka turned Ostrich into stone, Drake finished. Bo, Anna, and Rory listened to the story with wide eyes. I'm glad you stopped Ostrich, Rory said. Me too, Bo agreed. But where's Griffith? Didn't he come back with you? Griffith the wizard taught Drake, Anna, Bo, and Rory how to work with their dragons. They all lived in King Roland's castle just behind the Valley of Clouds. Griffith is helping to Ostrich to the wizard's council prison, Drake replied. Even though she's a statue now, this will make sure she'll never hurt anyone again. Anna moved closer to the flower dragon. You still haven't told us where you found this little cutie. This dragon found me, Drake replied. Worm and I had just gotten back when this flower dragon climbed into my arm, but I don't know where he came from. Suddenly, Drake's dragonstone began to glow. Then he heard Worm's voice in his mind. The flower dragon is reaching out to me, Worm said. His name is Wildroot. He says he needs our help. Chapter 2, Wildroot's Tale. Wildroot continued to communicate with Worm. Drake listened to Worm's voice in his head. Wildroot lived near the village of Stirlbrook in the Lofty Mountains. He says his tribe is in danger. Then Drake told his friends that what he heard. A tribe that is lived with a whole group of flower dragons? Bo asked. Suddenly, a picture popped into Drake's mind, and he knew Worm was ending it. Drake saw a green field studded with star-shaped wildflowers. Tiny green dragons slept and played among the flowers. Wildroot's tribe lived in this field of rare star flowers. Then a picture appeared of a creature no taller than the flowers. She wore a gown made of golden brown leaves, the same color as her wrinkled skin. She had leafy wings too. Is that a fairy? Drake asked Worm. Bright-Eye, the forest spirit, and a friend to the flower dragons. She can see into the future. In a vision, she saw a terrible monster heading for Starbuck. A new picture appeared in Drake's head. Two red glowing eyes peering out of dark forest. He gasped. Bright-Eye told the tribe that would need help to defeat the monster. She told them of the brave dragons of Bracken Castle and the dragon masters who help others. Wildroot volunteered and came here. The picture vanished. Drake told his friends what he had seen and heard. Wildroot came to the right place, or he cried. We'll help him. Wildroot says the red-eyed monster will reach Starbuck in a day or two, Worm told Drake. There is not much time. We should go inside, Boat suggested. Griffiths has maps in his workshop that can help us. Aurora and I will look for books about flower dragons in the classroom, Anna added. They traveled through the tunnel connecting the Valley of Clouds to Dragon Castle. Worm, Shoe, Capri, and Vulcan went into the dragon cave to rest. Wildroot perched on Drake's shoulder. Then Drake and Bo entered Griffith's workshop. Books and magical items filled the shelves. On the table was a wooden box curved with dragons. It held a large piece of dragonstone. This is magical stone shows who were ready to become dragon masters. Bo picked up a book and leafed it through the pages. I'll see if I can find the lofty mountains, he muttered as he searched. Then he stopped and smiled. Got it. Here they are. And here is Starbuck. Drake looked at the map. Staleberg sat all by itself on one of the mountains. The bottom of the map showed his castle in the large forests. The dark forest, he read out loud. This looks sort of spooky. Bo pointed to the area of the map close to Staleberg. There is the field of starflowers. Perfect, Drake cried. I'll get Worm so we can. The lid of the curved box suddenly flew open. Then a burst of bright green light shot from Griffith's dragon show.